Hey guys, Elliot Wave Sage. Let's do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Just use this for your education and entertainment purposes only. So a lot of news this weekend, and we had the attack from Iran into Israel. So what you typically see in a wave three of a grand super cycle, wave five, which is essentially a blow off top. Um, we see war fought in a way that is very polite, apologetic, telegraphed attacks, begging not to escalate. That's warfare in a bull market, guys. That's warfare in a bull market. So then that tells you where the sentiment is across the board because everyone's making money in the economy and they don't want to ruin a good thing. They're like, "Hey guys, calm down. Look at everyone's making a lot of money right here. The consumer's doing all right for the most part. The higher end consumer, you've got businesses making money, you've got government spending, and the economy's still pretty strong. That's what our data is saying, except for a small subset not doing very well. So war gets in the way of that. So right now, I'm not surprised the war's already fizzled out before it even started. They said they even, like as the drones were in the air, they actually called Israel to say there's no more. I mean, so because they were so nervous about a retaliatory strike. So it's just crazy warfare in a bull market, guys. But warfare in a bear market is a lot different, right? That's when you get, the nastiness. So we're obviously this is sentiment is bull market sentiment. All right, enough of that. The Dow Jones, like I mentioned before, we're in a flat, and I gave the flat target here. I haven't changed this box since my last videos, the last few weeks, and here we are. We're in it. So, were you buying the dip Friday or were you selling into the fear of some war? My guess is the market could bottom at any moment in this wave two now. Any moment. And then you get this wave three, a short squeeze where everyone's massively caught offside. And that's what these flats tend to do here. So this flat looks like it could end at any moment, and it is in the buy area. You'll have to do what's best for you. The SPY did not get to 504, so we could see some more weakness in the technology sector, bringing the SPY down. So be careful there. Triple Qs also did not get to its area 431. So technology could still have some more downside, bringing the SPY down. The Dow Jones may bounce a little bit. And then the IWM, I was saying 196. We're very close, but we're in the buy area right now. The Russell. So this correction, if we look at the RSI reset, so let's go to the Dow. The daily cycle has almost reset completely. You could see here we're getting close. We were 32,000, massive hidden bullish divergence in the RSI on the daily, almost a full cycle reset on the daily, and that should get us much higher when this daily cycle finishes. We're talking prices up around 49, 50,000 Dow, which is where I think the wave three will top out of the grand super cycle of wave five. That's where wave three of five I think ends in the grand super cycle. We go into a wave four, and then we go into one more push higher, and that's all she wrote. So, and that's of course if we don't erase divergence on the way up. So this is how I look at that, and then the SPY again, not as significant. See, that's why the SPY probably has more downside. The triple Qs probably have more downside. IWM could drop a little more. Could drop a little more, but it doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. All right, so my market forecast right now is we're going into earnings season, and it does seem like we should get potentially a little more downside in technology, and then at some point we get this reversal out, and that's what we're looking for. And it's pretty much like a sideways correction for this move. And then we'll get the wave 3. Hang Seng. So here we are, Hang Seng. We hit that trend line, couldn't get that breakout. We fell back below it. This could be a connector. Could be a connector for this whole move here. It could be, I could label this in a lot of ways. I could put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and an A, B, C, which probably is the right way to label it right now. Something like this. Something like that. Something like that. So you don't have any divergence at that peak here. You have a full reset, no divergence. So that's a more conservative view. So the other view was, is this 1, 2, 1, 2 setup they had earlier. The more bullish count. So it also can be that bullish count. You'll have to do what's best for you. We'll see. We'll know probably tomorrow if this is the count, and we get out of this, breaking a massive downtrend that should mark this as a significant low. That was easy to back into and play that, and it's holding up so far technically. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did drop, but it did not hit our 59,000. So this could be a 4 and another 1, 2 out. But if you look at the RSI reset, I'm going to put the 4 here and just label this as some kind of flat correction and running flat. In bigger picture, I'm looking at it, something like this, where you have your first cycle, your next one, and then your wave 5 push. As you see, no divergence at that peak. So what this also tells me is the double top, I guess triple top if you want to call it that, but I call this a top. This double top. Could this double top be in play? It was potentially. We never did take that high out for the 5th wave. This 5th wave is needed to negate the double top. We haven't got that. So if we do drop pretty substantially, there is a risk of a double top play, and you can't be disregard that. There's your trend line. So if we break this on the weekly, which we still have a lot of room to fall, then the double top's in play, guys. Which is a massive flat connector that we've been in. So this has to get taken out. We'll have to wait and see if they could do it on this push, but that's what we're looking for. We haven't got it yet. We're getting close, but we'll see how this plays out. RSI wise, let's take a look at the weekly. I mean, way overbought still, but Bitcoin is known to do this, have violent shakeouts in their bull market run. So if we are in that, this type of move is pretty much expected. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, if we do take another little dump down to 59,000, this could be a really good opportunity to go long for this wave 5. Oil is still in the sell area, guys, and maybe after the war that seemed to fizzle out before it even started, oil could drop, and we can really get that reversal now here in this area. So we're hoping oil makes a U-turn, and I think with the news that we just experienced, it sounds like we should get that U-turn in oil on open. Silver dropped, and so this could also be another 1, 2. Keep that in mind. And the reason I said that is we haven't got a lot of extension away from this low like a way we really need to get up to here. So because of that, it could easily be another 1-2. But for now, conservatively, I will label that as a crash correction wave 4, and then we'll see if we could get this fifth wave up. But since it's only 3 waves, you always have to keep in mind: is this some kind of is it a connector wave of a bigger cycle, which could be 3 up here, 3 down there, and could we still be in a wave 2 or worse? Or this is a connector in itself, and we're in this wave 2 for a massive crash. Um, those are possibilities, but very unlikely given the indices and everything. But I always think about that. Again, we need to get that fifth wave push to negate it, which we need this cycle to play out more. We need, looks like we need to get to the mid 30s. So we'll wait and see how silver behaves. But I do like to just hold it. Gold, same thing is, we're finally, I think, ending the first impulse and wave 4 in gold. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. So something like this in gold. Is what I'd be looking for. Something like that. Now, it could become a 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's always possibility. There was some crypto gold equivalent plays this weekend that were trading, and during the event, it spiked to 3,000, and it's trading now at 28, 27. So are we going to see a gap up in gold? I mean, it doesn't seem like it with the war fizzling out, but who knows? If that's the case, then obviously this was another 1, 2. That's why I don't recommend trying to be cute, trade in and out of these things. I don't. You just really need to get your position and hold it for a while in these metals because they're so oversold on the historic charts. How's nat gas doing? Trying to end this wave 2. It's and maybe with oil. If oil can reverse, we can get this drop finally in nat gas. Then the 10-year hit the sell area exactly on Friday. It started to reverse just in time for the war to be over. And now everybody can go back to business as usual. So let's see if this plays out. This is very important chart, guys. If we don't get this reversal and we keep pushing higher and we do break 5 on the 10-year, this is negated, and we are going to enter wave 3 of the bullish move higher in a 1-2, 1-2 setup, which should pretty much get us right to 7% pretty quickly, and higher, and more than likely even higher. The 10-year should hit somewhere around 8.5%, 9% in the next couple years. You don't think it's hard to believe the market could survive that, right? So keep an eye on that. This is important. This chart says that that's not going to happen, that this will play out, which will help the indices run higher. And then at some point in the future, we'll bottom, we'll start to go up. The indices probably will run with some divergences. And then we'll hit some critical point where this will get everyone's attention again. And then we'll start to go parabolic, and then the indices probably will be ready to crash at that point later, in a few years. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think will happen. We come down, we come out. Oh my God, what's happening again? The indices are in some way 5, grand super cycle 5 of 5, and then boom. And then the indices crash. And then this sovereign debt crisis, whatever you want to call it, inflation, whatever causes this. And then this cycle will end. Crash happens, and then it's either a 4 and a 5, which would spell doom for the historical chart, or it's a 3-wave move, and it's all the way back down to negative rates, and a new secular bull market is born for generations after a massive crash. Because I think it's pretty clear if we go from 5% to 9 or 10% on the 10-year, the market and technology and growth is going to collapse. I think it's just we've seen. I don't think it's the market can't support those kind of rates on the long end. So that's how this thing is going to probably unravel. So that's why we got to keep an eye on this here. We got to keep an eye on this chart here. Uh, really do. So we'll wait and see how this goes the next couple of days. The VIX had this spike. So again, we need to look at this. So we're still in this connector wave on the VIX. So you have your 3. So we had to take another look at on labeling it. And you had your 3, and now you have your 3, and then this is your 3. So to me, it appears to me that the VIX spike is over, and then we can go back down. This will help the market because now you have all this VIX that has to bleed out in the market now. So that's what I think is gonna happen. And with the war over before it starts, then that's where we're headed, and that will help them unwind as this unwinds a little bit. Okay, those are all the indices that I want to cover right now. So I would say the Dow's in a good position here. Weekend Wall Street, if you guys follow that, still showing down triple digits. It has been wrong sometimes. It could be wrong again. So if we're down triple digits, we'll be somewhere down here maybe. We'll see how we open. It'll be very interesting. Now, the one thing we know about flats is the wave 2 can extend lower, right? It can extend lower. And flats are known to do that, but it doesn't. But if this is really a wave 3, a bull market, we really need to find support, because if we start extending lower, then we have to look at the whole wave itself. And then here's the peak, right? The breakout peak. And really, technically, if we come back and test this at 37.1 on the Dow, and we break through that, this is a false breakout. And then I would be very concerned that the bull case about the bull case. So it's just something to think about. It's something to think about. So the bears really have to push this thing back under this area, to get a massive false breakout, and unraveling, and then either out, which I think is what would happen. You'll get a 1-2 and out, or we back test this and come out. But based on the system I use, typically the flats will find support here, and we should start to reverse out of this. If you look at this 4 wave, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have bullish divergence in that leg here, showing this is a 5th leg, right, on the 45-minute. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. So the 15-minute, so that's why there could be some short-term weakness, right? So we could be still need that 5th wave of the 5th wave, a little bit, but we don't need to be cute with it. We just need to understand where we are, and if you're short, it doesn't make sense to, at this point, to stay short. It looks like we're in some kind of move like that. Just to give you an idea where the indices are, where the Dow is right now. All right, let's go through the stocks like I normally do. Apple, wow, it's green. How the heck does that happen? Excuse me. So it was so bad, but we were essentially vertical off this low. So I mean, again, I'm showing Apple as this flat wave 2 and a 1-2, 1-2 off the grand super cycle. It seems so bullish, right, guys? I mean, Apple, this is all we got for the grand super cycle correction. This was it. That was it. That's all we got. There was no, wasn't deep enough, wasn't long enough. So where can Apple go from here? 417, 500. The next super cycle wave. Oh, over years. So 500. That's where I think it'll head in the next, 3, 4 years. Or at least we'll see how it goes. Maybe next couple years, 2, 3 years, something like that. Let's take a look at some of these others. Amazon, I saw broke out. So Amazon again, I just labeled it. It looks like to me three should be ending, get a 4 and a 5, and then a bigger pullback. But we did break the high, the all-time high. So that is a sign that this correction is over. A new impulse is born. And now the question is, will it extend and erase divergence? And it has not done that yet. Is not done that yet. But we haven't got a big enough pullback in 4 yet. So this could keep extending. But this is my count on Amazon at the moment. Google. Again, could it be a flat, or is 2 already done? That bullish. Why is it's so funny? Google, no one wanted Google. You couldn't give Google away. Now everyone wants it for some reason. Everyone wants it because I think it's a catch-up trade here. So I'm still labeling this as a wave 5. I'm still labeling this as a wave 5, but it can easily be a 1-2, 1-2 setup in Google. And again, we broke the all-time high, so this was a major low. And we did have a buy on Google back down. I think it was down on this swing here, for people that wanted to buy it on this three-wave move there. I believe we had a buy on that, on this, right at this low here in this area. And it just kept pushing higher despite the bearish interpretation. So now we'll go with a more bullish look at this. We are in some fifth wave though, unless the divergence gets erased in Google. But looking at it, there's really no reason to try to sell it anymore. Facebook, we never got that deeper 4. I was looking at for dip buy trade, didn't get it. So all we got was a small wave 4. So we're still in wave 5. This is a major sell area on it based on the extensions. So we may see like a lot of choppiness, a top in process, and then a deeper pullback. So again, this is meta, unless of course we extend and erase divergence. And I keep saying that because a lot of traders want to short these wave 5s and then they get blown up as it extends. So that's not the way to do it. You should just be buying the dips now. Tesla, again, a real nail biter for people. I put the 2 there for now. And we'll see if we can come out of this. We really need this to hold. These pivots need to hold. Adobe hit the buy area finally on Friday, and I'm definitely started accumulating. There is a gap here. If it goes lower, I just like a long-term investment accumulation area in this area on Adobe. It's safe to say with all these technology stocks making new all-time highs, it's only a matter of time before Adobe does the same thing. It's just a matter of time. But you'll have to do what's best for you. I like it. It looks very clearly an impulse up and a 3-wave down. I really like this 3-wave down. It's very easy to see. It's a very classical Elliott wave correction extension. That's why I really like this opportunity on the long side here. I even liked it here despite it being a little early, but even better here. So Do what's best for you, but I do like that. Nvidia, if you followed me, I gave the setup on Nvidia, and we nailed that almost to the dollar. And I was able to go long on that for a nice, easy gain, easy money. This was a classic, bounce from my buy area. My system does work usually, not all the time, but it usually does. And when it does, boy, does it work. So Nvidia looks like it is now in the fifth wave here off this low, targeting triple digits, triple digits. Or it will erase divergence and continue to go parabolic for God knows what reason. But this is the longer term chart. If this is a 5, we'll see a lot of sideways, like in Meta, action as this kind of tops out. But we'll see if it can extend. It'll take a lot of bullishness to erase the divergence because of the RSI reset here. But anything's possible. We'll have to wait and see. That's why it was good to just pick it up. Now we do have a new pivot, so if for some reason Nvidia decides to take a dump and take another swing lower, the new area to buy would be 764, 730, 646, and that would be another great opportunity to go long. Okay, a lot of these smaller stocks are really struggling. So here we broke a pivot, and I believe we broke even this one. So this chart to me is negated, the bullishness, and now it's in a bear trend. I wouldn't recommend buying it anymore. Now it enters a deeper wave 2 correction, and the market has spoken. So now we have to play out a 3-swing move on this to the downside to essentially retest these lows. That's where we're heading with it. AMD, I like it at 133. And this could be like a load the boat type if this comes down here. If this comes down here, it seems hard to believe we'll get down this far on AMD, but anything's possible. We'll see. IONQ heading down. I like it even lower because looking at it, this is a connector and we're heading lower. So I don't, again, retesting the lows. Microsoft finishing up a fifth wave unless again we can erase some divergence, but it doesn't seem likely. So look for a potential top to play out in Microsoft soon. That could potentially take it back down to 342 if it correct in this whole cycle. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Let's take a look at where we are with it. Let's take a look here. So we did take out the divergence. So we'll be correct in this leg. So we are in a 1-2, 1-2. So we would correct this leg down. So look for 394 actually. 394 is the price to look for in a 1-2 setup. Before it sees an explosion higher. Let's get rid of some of that. And you see it never gave us that dip here. It was truncated. You see how it was truncated? It was so bullish. It didn't dip. It didn't give you the dip you wanted. But so this is telling you that Apple and Microsoft are telling you the market can go much higher, carried by a new group of leaders, right? Maybe Meta and Nvidia are going to top out sideways to higher, but now you've got Apple, Tesla, Microsoft ready to run in some kind of wave 3 action. So just keep that in mind, just looking at some of these charts, right? And then eventually AMD will recover and it will hit its wave 3, right? Because this is correct in the 1-2. So it's just Marnie's swap moving in and out of stocks. Didn't get the dip in Palantir. But still may come if it happens. I'll pick it up. Sound can continue lower in a deeper correction in a 1-2. And again, it could go all the way back to retest the lows even. So I don't like this. A lot of these small stocks are starting to fall apart. I believe Symbiotic will do the same thing and drop down here. So you're just not seeing these run like you would, and that tells me the market itself is the money wants to go into bigger cap stocks, more traditional names, and when those kind of finish running, then the money will flow back into the more speculative names like these. That's what I'm thinking. Shopify broke its support, its pivot. 64 is good. Now, Shopify we have to be careful with because it is just 3 waves up. And if you really look at this, this is a 5-wave move down. And we did break the low here. You see how you broke that low here? So yeah, I mean that's five. So you have to really try to force it. So what I'm trying to say is, if the one is here, this is clearly some impulse down with an A, B, C connector, or we put it here, and we have a 3-wave move up. But whatever it is, I don't like this look here. So as this pulls back, we need to watch this trend line at 58, because if we break it, there is a possibility that this is just a connector for this entire move down, which would bring us pretty much back down to single digits in Shopify. Now, in a massive bear market, a massive pump is over, massive. But I don't think that's the right way to trade it. I think the right way to trade it is buy it here and just have a stop loss at 52 and just know there's some risk here. There's some risk in this. So this trade is not like a slam dunk, like I think maybe like Adobe could be. This one has a little more risk to it if you're going to go long, because I could see it actually unraveling. I could see that. And maybe the market's thinking AI is going to disrupt its business model. I mean, I know Shopify provides e-commerce tools to small businesses so they can get on the web. Well, maybe an Amazon just going to have AI do it for you with a click of a button and disrupt this business completely. Maybe you won't need this type of service anymore. Maybe AI will be automated, and maybe the market senses that and is pricing in this company's being disrupted by AI. Because I was thinking a big cap company with AI capabilities could probably do what this company does and even do it much better. So Shopify's got to get invested in AI fast and start using it more to help differentiate itself. And this is more of a fundamental view of the company. So I do wonder if the market is worried about that disruptive possibility AI could play on this stock. And nothing else here worth looking at. Robinhood. So Robinhood, so we did come down in 3. We have a new connector for this move. If we do come back down and break it, we're looking for 1610, 1541 is the next buy area. But it obviously the swing is done here, so we don't know where we are. It could be in a 1-2 setup again. We need to see where we trade tomorrow on Robinhood. We'll have to wait and see. And just remember, we never got to the dip area, so this could drop again, which would be more of a traditional correction, more typical. Keeping an eye on RK. RK, I like it at 42.49. That may be a sign when the Russell bottoms, by the way. The Russell and a lot of the smaller speculative stocks may have a little bit of a run. But I do think RK is in a 5th wave, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then a pullback. So that's why I think some of the speculative stocks are going to have trouble until we finish the sequence out. Now, if this is a 1-2, 1-2, then yeah, speculative stocks are going to go crazy high here. So what we need to do is, if the RK does hit this zone, may be worthwhile picking up some of the individual stocks that make up RK as speculation, because those should see a nice rebound. But if we do get that wave 3, I want to be part of that. So definitely keeping an eye on that. And then of course we have the China. How's PDD doing? That's always been pretty bullish. This has played out perfectly, and we're heading to 103 hopefully soon. Baidu still in a buy area here. We'll wait and see, waiting for that reversal. Neo, it's hard to bottom tick this thing. If we erase divergence, it'll just keep extending like AEHR did. I don't like it until I get a big a spike and a pullback, so I have something to trade against. I'm not going to bottom tick it. Then let's go to consumer discretionary. There's some things to think about here. Nike did like that here at 88. We held this pivot, but the RSI reset, so I do put the 2 here. Looks like it actually double bottomed here for now. But a Nike, you're really backing into a low, because if this were to break, and it hasn't broke yet, but but this is how I'm labeling it for now. I'm not labeling it as a 1-2. I'm labeling it this way because of the RSI on the higher time frame. Let me get to it here, monthly. Here, I believe this is it. Yeah, we broke down. So this is a major cycle degree correction. Now, if we do break that, we risk breaking 81, and that really opens us up all the way down to the 40s. So this would be a massive collapse in Nike. So Nike really is do or die time for Nike. So I want to try to play that. So far, so good. Starbucks, keep an eye on Starbucks. We're almost at the buy area at 81.55. Starbucks looks good. It could actually truncate too with the market. So just no, it's getting close. Everyone's talking about Lululemon. I mentioned the flat guys. We would keep extending, and the flat target is 187. Seems almost unthinkable, but if we do get down there, I definitely want a massive piece of that, because Lululemon's not going nowhere. I mean, the resale value of Lululemon stuff is crazy too. When I go to Facebook Marketplace and resell Lululemon, it like sells in 24 to 48 hours for a good chunk of what it's like, sometimes 60-70% of what I paid for it, and I've worn it for over years. I mean, so people want Lululemon, man. This is a desirable brand, just in a massive correction. Usually, again, Grand Super Cycle, the wave 5 is gone, so wouldn't be surprised to see this wave chopped up at 266, bounce, and then a despair wave, and then that's it. So we'll see how this plays out, but I really keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on it. If this happens, massive gift in the market, massive gift. It'll be very interesting to see if this can actually happen, this flat here. And of course, I have to change the label. Let me do that here. But a massive gift the market gave you. If this plays out. All right, I wanted to show those. Let's see if there's anything staples. CLH, Celsius. Looking again. Connector 62.56. Costco, looking for 676. Although we're in a new connector, so scratch that. Looks like we had a rebound here, so looking for 643, 622. And then Monster Beverage. Again, I showed that it was a risk for a flat. It seems to be playing out. And this could be another great long-term investment opportunity because Monster is not going anywhere. And that would be at 43.38. 43.38. Here, Monster Beverage. Potentially a good opportunity there. Playing out. As you can see, my Smith & Wesson chart, I did give this setup a long time ago. I believe we were trading down here even. And wave 3 has been playing out. So, not bad, right? Not bad. So then, let's take a look at crypto equivalents, Coinbase. I mean, if I look at Coinbase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could say 3, 4, 5, and we pull back now to 216, and the whole cycle's finished. Something like that. And then everyone's been in love with these. So we did get this sell-off. We've been expecting this, and now BCHG is in a buy area. It was in a buy area on Friday, but we are in a connector wave, so they could go on for a while. But it should bounce. It should bounce here, but it could do that. So connector waves, there's no guarantee it's over, but it does seem like we should get a bounce here. LTCN, same thing, you hit the buy area, and that should go higher in a fifth wave, and then drop again dramatically. Something like that. Now, I don't like trying to sell the fifth wave. If I look at this, if you look at how extreme that 4 is, yeah, to me, the way I would label it now is I would label Y completed here, and then just put the A here, and the B here, and the C goes up like that. So that's how I probably label LTCN, something like that. Mara heading lower, and people are like starting to get scared. Good, get scared, sell it. Riot heading lower. Then let's see if there's any other stocks out there. Let's look at some commodity. So let's look at Chevron. Just missed the sell area by $1, and what a dump! Look at that dump. Did somebody know the war was going to fizzle out on Friday? I wonder. So that's interesting. How about the XLE? Look at that. It hit the extreme sell area and a massive dump. So that hopefully marks the end of that move. Devon Energy. This is probably some kind of 4 or 5 cluster here. I'm not going to label it, but this impulse should be over from the low, and it needs a massive correction now, more than likely. Yeah. And then Slumberjay formed a connector and should be heading lower to this area for a great opportunity, and that means the OIH should also be forming a connector and heading lower for another great opportunity. So as you can see, I think energy is about to get a rug pull, guys, and it seems like the news makes a lot of sense. Now the war just fizzled out before it started. Everyone was long these things, thinking there was going to be a massive war, and now they're going to be panicking and dumping that shit on Monday, driving the price down as this unwinds. Makes a lot of sense to me. Then let's take a look at some of these other ones, if there's any others. Oh yeah, let's go to the gold miners. So GDX. Well, I'll do GDXJ. I've been labeling that. So GDXJ. It's obviously in some kind of wave 3 action here, and we could put the 3 here, but I'd like a bigger extension in 3, so more than likely it's another 1-2 playing out. Not enough swings, but it could be done in a crash correction wave 2. We'll see what happens tomorrow in the price action. And of course, silver is same thing. We've talked about silver already. BTU was another one that I think people like a lot. Let me see if I can find it here. So we got this panic wick to 21. There's a possibility that's the low, but more than likely it's got more downside. So again, patience is being rewarded, but there is a chance that that was the low. So we just don't know yet, but we'll still wait and see if we can get down to this area. Now, bigger picture, it could be one of the things you have to use a stop loss because this could be a connector here for a much bigger wave 2 that would drop us to 1189, which would also time up with the wave 4 low at 941. This would be a massive opportunity if that happens. So yeah, you could try to dip buy it here, but I would definitely stop out at this pivot at 17 because then we'll play this bigger drop and you'd want to buy it around $7 for a massive opportunity that I think will find support. But you guys will have to do what's best for you. So I'm going to wrap it up here. And if I have time, I'll do a live stream later today. So market, to me, it seems like technology has more downside, a little bit more. It seems like the Dow has a little more downside as well, but not much more. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin could see this 59,000 area still. So the market still may have a little more downside left, but not much more. And then something very bullish will happen, and the market will start to recover. And again, that may happen already with the war fizzling out. But then again, it may be some other news. But this is kind of how I see the market at the moment, guys. You do have some notable reversals. You had the reversal maybe in the 10-year. You had the reversal in energy on some stocks I showed you earlier. Okay. So we saw some of those reversals, and then you saw reversals on the opposite direction, like you saw Apple essentially reversing higher, right? You've seen Tesla stay supported, okay? You saw Nvidia reversing higher out of it. So you're seeing what's going to carry the market for the next leg higher. I think we're starting to see that come out. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Bye.